healthcare. What else? What comes to your mind when you hear about Narayana? Narayan Bhagwan. Okay. Okay. Healthcare and hospital. Got it. Got it. Wonderful. Wonderful. So, thanks a lot for joining us, all of you, all chartered accountants. Congratulations. You're joining us from across the length and breadth of India. And we have a fantastic panel today. Like last year, it's always my pleasure and my honor to host the panel from Narayana. Thanks a lot, Sandhya ma'am, Srikanth sir, Meenakshi ma'am, Romi, Balasubramaniam, and I think Ritu is also here. Thanks a lot for joining in and trusting us. Uh, I'll just briefly tell you about what we are doing here today and introduce the panel in 3 minutes, and then we'll proceed forward with the talk, right? So, Narayan is a company that, of course, provides value to its investors. Alongside of that, impacts lives, so many lives on a daily basis. 20 plus hospitals, 4,000 plus doctors, 55 plus 5,500 plus beds. That is a scale of impact that you're talking about on a daily basis. Not and today we are here for their finance Maharati program. If you know what the word Maharati means, you will understand the kind of program, the kind of effort, the kind of time and effort that has gone into building this program. And not a lot of companies have a program like this, the structured program, the immersive program that you will go through in the next 1 or 2 years during this program. It's very, very, very rare and unheard of in today's day where companies are putting so much effort into you, right? So this is the company that we are talking about, and the panel that we have today, Sandhya ma'am, 20 plus years of experience, CA rank holder, CA Woman of the Year, and an excellent public speaker. As I said, ma'am, it's always a pleasure to hear you. Thanks a lot for joining in. We also have Srikanth sir, who is the group head for internal audit at Narayana. Again, 20 plus years of experience. He is the mentor to the Maharathis. Thanks a lot, sir, for joining in. Again, a pleasure and an honor to host you and listen to you as well. Thanks a lot for joining in. Over to you, ma'am. I'll just make you a host.
Yes, now I'm able to unmute. Thank you, Umangji, for giving me this opportunity. And I am currently in London, and it is interesting. It's rather, it's about 33 degrees here, and the entire system has come to a standstill because the country is not prepared for the heat. And we can handle up to 50 degrees, but we're prepared for the heat. So many times, I think as professionals, it's also the same, the circumstances may be the same, but how well you are prepared for a circumstance or a situation uh, goes to carve who you are. And I think the way we've approached this Maharati program, and with the tremendous support from you, Umangji, that
Please
we
call me
want to
Umang.
prepare.
I won't feel very good if you can just call me Umang.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think you've been a big anchor for us for this program and for the students. I also feel that opportunity meets aspiration only because of people like you who are very passionate about making it happen. So our Maharati program also is like that. Whether it is 35-degree heat or 50-degree heat, as professionals, we must have the ability to face the heat and we kind of prepare our people for the same. I do think we have a deck. I'm guessing we'll start with the deck, and then I'm sure you'd want to hear more from Shrikant sir. He's our star of the day. So I will start with a little bit of the introduction about Narayana, and then I'll hand over to Shrikant sir, who really is the Bhishma Pitama for finance in many ways, and who anchors this program from his heart and genuinely believes in making strong professionals who for the future of the organization and for the individuals. Meenakshi, you are going to share the deck, or who's going to share the deck?
Yes, sorry, I have the deck. I'll share it.
Yeah. This is our ninth placement. I'm very proud that from our very first placement, we've been working with Umangji on this, and he's been our anchor from I think now fourth year going and ninth batch. So that way, it's quite special for us, this association, and uh, the most energizing part of this Maharati program is the students who have chosen Narayana and come into the program. We've the way each of them have bloomed and flourished as professionals, as individuals, it's very, very heartening for us and makes us very, very happy and energized to keep continuing with this program. I want to start with introducing our founder, Dr. Devi Shetty. He, of course, has many, many accolades to his name. I think it goes on to another slide as well. But the biggest part of his personality is that he's someone who wants to democratize healthcare for the country. And he believes that India will be the first country to dissociate healthcare from wealth. And every minute, as an organization, we think about how to make healthcare affordable. It's not that we have, we are an NGO or a trust, we are a listed company. And all of you must be trading in the market. And, the way you trade in the market is you look at the performance of the company, you look at their numbers, you look at what they deliver. You don't go and do some analysis saying that, okay, how many people got affordable, accessible healthcare before investing in the stocks of a healthcare company. But we want to believe that you can do both. It is the and is possible. And that's what we've been trying to work on. And we'll talk about it a little bit more. Meenakshi, next slide, please. We started our business about 25 years back. Small hospital with 225 beds called Narayana Hridayalaya. And over the past 25 years, we've worked quite consistently to make healthcare affordable. Next slide, Meenakshi. So this is a bit about us. This is all available on our website, and we do touch 2.5. In fact, it's 3 million now. 1 in 6 cardiac surgeries we perform. We have very high-end care that we deliver in all our hospitals. The interesting part of our numbers, just stay with that slide for a minute, Meenakshi. The interesting part of our numbers is that we deliver the lowest average revenue per patient among the top 5 hospital chains. But at the same time, our ROCE, now of course it's going at 20% because we have done a huge capex. But then our ROCE is upwards of 24% on a steady state basis and 18% CAGR growth in market capitalization, which we have delivered since 2016. Every 1/5 patient that we serves comes under a subsidized care model. We run India's largest clinical research program. We run very large training programs. Next slide. We're hyper-focused on quality. So we are the first JCI international hospital chain in India. JCI is the highest mark of quality from a healthcare point of view globally. JCI is an American organization, so it's the highest mark of quality globally. And we are the first in India to have JCI Enterprise. Next slide, Meenakshi. The interesting part of our model is that we continuously studied around the world. And if you want to understand us a little bit more, I think you should look at this because you're all the Netflix generation. So you'd like to see rather than read, which is also a good way. Knowledge comes in all directions. There is a Netflix episode called Surgeon's Cut, where you can see the life story of our chairman and how we've come to be. But you should also go and do a little bit of research of our efficiency-driven, affordable healthcare model, where we also able to create tremendous shareholder value and at the same time deliver care at a far more affordable way than many others. So I think that's really the crux of what we do. Next slide, please. We are present in India. We moved into Cayman Islands about 10 years back. And recently, last year, we commissioned our second hospital in Cayman. Earlier, we had only one hospital. November of last year, we acquired a reasonably large hospital chain in the UK. We were the first Indian company to go to the UK and acquire a hospital chain. We have presence across the south, southwest, and southeast of UK. And in India, we have about 18 hospitals and then a couple more heart centers. Um, and we have presence largely in south and east is where we have dense presence, but we also have presence in north, two hospitals in Delhi, one in Jaipur, and as well as in west, which is Ahmedabad and Mumbai. So a very broad-based presence as far as the footprint is concerned. Next slide. So I will just take a little bit time on this slide, and then maybe that's when I'll hand over to Shrikant sir to run this forward, just to see how we are thinking about healthcare. Today, when we look at healthcare, it's largely built around the model that the patient pays for different parts of services. You go to the doctor writes some medicines, you go to the medicine shop, you buy the medicine, you go take some tests. To pay for your inpatient care, you pay the insurance company, you pay money for your insurance premium, and everything is so fragmented, none of it speaks to each other. The whole load of the care delivery is with the patient. They have to ensure that they get the right lab report and they get the right medicines and go to the right doctor. They bought the right policy and they're covered properly. And so the system is very fragmented and it's cross purpose. So, as a hospital for me, technically, if you think about it, I make more money if more people fall sick. For an insurance company, they make more money if less people make claims. And then there is the patient. The hospital does not trust the insurance company. The insurance company does not trust the hospital. The patient does not trust either. So we have created a system with which we are, to whom we are handing over our most precious resource, which is our life. And we don't trust that system. It's a very sad state. So, Narayana's goal is to see how we can change this for the country. Let us say if somebody walks into our hospital and then one of our doctors says, you need this big surgery. And let us say Narayana only pays for that surgery. Then 100% you need that surgery. Take it one level further. Now, if Narayana is going to pay for all your surgeries, then it is in Narayana's interest that they don't bring you to a point that you need surgery. We intervene before, do a medical test, take your reports, work with people, ensure that they don't have, ensure that there's adherence, their lifestyle diseases are managed. So the healthcare in our country can only change when all of the objectives of different players in healthcare are aligned. And it should align to the care of the patient. It should align to the welfare of the patient. And therefore, Narayana is the first company, and the only company at the moment, which has a health insurance license, a hospital which has taken a health insurance license, and it's providing insurance to its customers. And it is not like any other insurer that we will pay the insurance claim when the person falls sick, but we proactively want to take responsibility for managing the health outcomes of our customers. So, going through that transformation and change is a massive action that we are taking at the moment. And we have about 100,000 people on our insurance plan. And of course, it's a journey we are still working through how to make people understand that there can be somebody who wants to manage your health. We're going through that learning curve, going through the journey, but we do believe that in the longer term, we will be able to change the way healthcare works in our country. With that, Shrikant sir, I'll hand over to you. This we have covered. I think this also we've covered. We will move to the next one. Yeah, I think we can skip this because I do want to spend more time with answering questions. So at this time, I'll hand over to Shrikant sir to talk about the Maharati program, but also for you to get to know Shrikant sir, who is going to be the anchor for this program and who, in a way, is like a guru for all of us. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Being extra kind today. Yeah, thank you, as always. Umang, can we request all our young participants to switch on their cameras? I don't see many of their faces. I can see a lot of names. It will help to always.
Can we all quickly do it? Can we all quickly switch on our videos? The
Don't worry, we will not be judgmental. Don't worry. Narayana is not judgment.
Please wait, sir.
Yeah, they are there. Okay. Great. So now I can officially say that I'm very happy to see the bright, eager, and enthusiastic faces in front of me. Earlier, I could not see the face at all, so my write-up was falling flat. Congratulations. Great qualification, wonderful qualification that you have all earned. It is never easy, and you have all done it. I wanted to just give you all my view of what is CA. CA, according to me, is a certification that all of you are capable of anything and everything that you want to set your mind to in life. And I am not saying this, we can go by what Mr. Kumar Mangalam Birla has publicly commented in a KBC program many years ago. When he said that he never wanted to do the CA course and he tried to bypass it directly to do an MBA. But his father put his foot down and gave him an ultimatum, saying that unless he took up a cleared CA, the family business will not be open for him at all. Today, Mr. Kumar Mangal Balla is very happy to acknowledge the rigor of the CA qualification that has given him so much of resilience and a no shortcut attitude. He says he owes all his business success to that. So be proud. You are in very august company. You are there with the ranks of people like Kumar Mangalam Birla. The qualification that you have, I'm sure, has taken huge effort and will continue to give you ample rewards throughout your career and life also. I qualified long before any of you are born. I qualified in November 86 and my results came somewhere in 87, January, February. 40 years from today before. And still the qualification has stood the test of time and is even now sought after. At the same time, please also understand that with great power and privilege comes great responsibility. You are now the new torchbearers and you should take this profession to much greater heights. To give a perspective of what is possible in Narayana, maybe it is good for me to take you through my personal journey in Narayana. Narayana has been more of a mission to me, not a career or a job. This mission for me started in December 2006, some maybe 19, 20 years ago. What I can certify to you guys is that it's a very well-intentioned organization which strongly believes in the power of higher purpose. The higher purpose is enshrined in the basic business model, as Madam Sandhya spoke to you briefly now. Long before CSR became mandatory, NH has been practicing it. It is a grand, successful experiment in cross-subsidy. We charge normal cash rates to those who can afford, but we're also able to give huge discounts and sometimes even free to those who can't afford it. Sometimes through government schemes, sometimes through our own discretionary discounts. Whenever the case is valid, it goes through. We don't really stop anybody from getting our services. The whole model is built around healthcare for all. Quality, high quality healthcare all is the motto that we have started with, and we are also continuing it even today. Even though there have been many changes in the legal structure, we are today a listed company, we are answerable to stakeholders, but the basic fundamental purpose has never wavered. And I can certify that as an insider for so many years. And what has this higher purpose and intent got us to? You are auditors. I will give you some audit evidence. I have been a witness, right? I have been a ringside watcher to a growth of a 2-hospital, 225 crore of revenue company in 2006. to, as of March 2026, revenue figures of some 7,900 crore. We are there in the UK, we are there in the Cayman, we are there almost every part of India. We are an 18,000 strong workforce. And all this has been done with complete honesty, transparency, compassion towards all patients who could not pay the full fare, and absolute compliance of all applicable laws, be it income tax, be it company law, be it healthcare related laws. We go the extra mile to ensure that we never default on anything, right? Personally, I have not felt the urge to or the need to make a CV in all these years. And if that is not a fulfilling feeling, what is? So now you are all people with limited attention span, modern generation. So you must be thinking, how does one spend so many years in one organization and still come to work with good enthusiasm every day? So I will give you a brief idea about what roles I have had the privilege and honor to play in Narayana. I started with doing a lot of handholding work for our Calcutta unit. Its finances those days were not great. Now it is one of the best performing units in the group. So I worked on understanding costs, how they can be reduced without impacting quality. If you guys really want to know how far you can go in this organization, the finance manager who was there handling Calcutta at that time, Mr. Venkatesh, 20 years now, is now the chief operating officer of the entire Narayana Health. So guys, so don't believe what you hear, believe in the audit evidence, and I'm giving you that. Then I got involved deeply in the process of tying up for our first private equity investment. We were funded a whopping 400 crores for a 22% stake by JP Morgan AIG, who are one of the two of the toughest PE equity players to work with. Even now, they were much tougher earlier. Who valued our company at around 1,800 crores when our turnover was hardly 300 crores way back in March 2008. Then came the deployment of funds. I got involved in negotiations and business discussion with various partners. I mean, I was not the only, there were many. We are all part of a very good team for starting collaborative heart centers and other hospitals, many greenfield projects to build hospitals. We did not have a formal legal team to speak of. We couldn't afford it those days. And I was personally involved in legal drafting, collaboration agreements. Great learning period. Then I approached our chairman one day to ask for a particular information that a senior director from the PE equity side they were asking for. And this information was not easily available. Back came the answer, Shrikant, I am also been looking for the information. Why don't you build an IT system to get me there? Till that point in time, IT had meant only income tax to me, and here was a new challenge. So then we went on and we built the first completely cloud-based hospital information system for Narayana with a partner. This was a time when cloud computing was still a very literally a nebulous notion. It was fun understanding some of the information technology concept from one vendor and then asking silly questions and impossible ask, and many times really getting there, getting it done. In no time, it was about 8 years, and the PE funds wanted an exit, and IPO was the only option. So I was also part of a team that achieved that somewhere in early January 2016, 10 years before. For a listed company, audit committee compliance became very important. For the past 10 years, I've been taking charge of internal audit function at Narayana. What is audit in the Narayana's context? It is compliance, legal SOPs, and then resource utilization, drive standardization, efficiency, and above all, process improvements and automation. We do very little of accounting audit. Whenever we see something major, we comment upon it, but normally that is left to the statutory auditors. Operational system audit, automation, driving efficiency, that's what we mainly focus on. All of you will get great opportunities for learning continuously. Bharat Darshan, a first-class package. Some of you are lucky, may even go to Cayman Islands, and now UK is also part of our own territory. It's all thrown in free. Good mentorship is what we strive to give you to turn you all into consummate, confident financial professionals of the highest ethic holders. Internal, external speakers, training sessions, all there every quarter for you. You will have the opportunity to write your own code on business intelligence software, Python, whatever you want to call it. A lot of AI will be used in your work, we guarantee it. We offer you a CA guarantee that you are assured of never a dull moment. There will be a lot of moments to celebrate together too. It is always not work. In fact, many people, maybe Madam Sandhya, think there is very little work getting done and more of fun. Yeah. So, as Madam Sandhya spoke now, healthcare insurance is a new business that we entered in. And surely we are going to make that grow and be successful. We are very, very gung-ho about it. We expect a lot of activities, a lot of opportunities to come forward from that area also. Happy to invite you all to join us in this mission to provide high quality healthcare for everybody in the world. So please feel free and go ahead, apply, qualify, come in, and we are all now open for any questions that you have. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Saran ma'am. Guys, if you have any questions, this is your chance to interact with the highest level of leaders. So if you have any questions, kindly put it in the chat, or maybe you can raise your hand. I'll unmute and then you can go ahead and ask. If you have any questions, you can raise your hand or share it in the chat. We'll pick it up from there. How you can apply? I've put the link. There's a Sambhav form link that you can apply to, and we'll pick up your candidature from there. Any questions, guys? Any questions? What after 2 years of training? Okay. So there's a question which says, which asks, what after 2 years of training? Where do we go?
Yeah. So what we try to do in this program is that we try to give an all-round experience for you across the finance department. So I want to take a little bit step back here, and maybe like Shrikant sir spoke about his journey, I can talk about my journey. I started my career with a program similar to this Maharati program. It used to be called Business Leadership Training in Unilever. And in that program, what we used to do was, for the first period, we used to go from unit to unit to unit and then learn different parts of the business. What we realized in Narayana was that, internal audit was one function which had exposure to every part of the business. The internal audit team in Narayana hardly looks at anything that is financial or accounting. They don't sit and do any vouching. They don't look at accounting accuracy. If we look at most of the audit points which come from the internal audit team, it always comes from a perspective of how can you make either the business control stronger or the business more efficient, or what value can you create to business from a business lens point of view. And to be able to give that kind of high quality output, the internal audit team actually works from a understanding the business point of view. So then when we were starting to build this program, and I kind of wanted to recreate, the journey that I have seen in many large organizations, and I think which is that you go across the organization and you learn. So the first 2 years of your journey will be in internal audit, but it will be just purely learning. You'll be going from unit to unit to unit, looking at different parts of the operations of the business, and you will be learning. Now, coming back to my own career journey, from there, if you see, like Shrikant sir was saying, he did business finance, he did IT, he did legal, he did drafting. I mean, there isn't something he has not done. Now he's doing audit. But if you look at my journey, I had started with factory finance. So I used to be responsible for factory operations. Then I moved into supply chain finance in Unilever. From there, I moved to, I did a role with shared services. I did a role with IT. I did a role with global Unilever. I did a role with controllership. So over a period of 15 years, I was exposed to all parts of the business. Now we are trying to create a similar environment for all of you. So the first 2 years you will spend in internal audit, but it is more focused on learning the nuances of the organization. Healthcare is very complex, and audit is one function that has access to every part of the operation. From there, at the end of 2 years, you will move into any of the roles in finance, which can be in business finance. Business finance can be FP&A, it can be supply chain finance, or it can be unit finance. Or you would move into controllership. Controllership can be financial accounting, it can be tax, it can be transfer pricing, it can be shared services, or you could move into international operations, or you could move into corporate finance, which can be treasury, projects, M&A, IR. So, or you could move into our insurance vertical, or you could move into our integrated care vertical. So, the the first role that you would go into could be any of the finance roles across the organization. So after you complete your 2 years of training in the internal audit team, you will get placed into one of the roles in the finance department. But you will be rotated every 2.5 years. So we don't want you to keep doing the same role forever. So one of the things that we see most people end up doing is that they start in audit and then they are in audit all their life, or they start in tax and they are in tax all their life. We want to create a CFO career path for everybody who is part of this program, which means that you need to have a broad-based understanding of all that is there in finance. So whatever role you go into in 2.5 years, you will be moved into the next role. And in 2.5 years, you'll be moved to the next role, and so on and so forth. So that when at the end of 10, 12, 15 years, you look back at this journey, you've seen the whole breadth and depth of finance. So you are a much more all-rounded professional. I think Shrikant sir wants to say something, so I'll hand over to him at this time.
Yeah, am I audible? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No, you are talking about the various kinds of roles. What I can tell them is they will be allowed to do everything other than treat patients, right? Only they need not wear the stethoscope. Other than that, there is no bar on what they can achieve within Narayana. I also see a few other questions about whether we are going to consider the number of attempts and age, right? While we are going to shortlist people for the program. What I can assure all of you is that we are looking at an attitude to learn. There is no other bar. There is no gender bar. Of course, there is no experience. You're all coming in new. You are CA. You got a professional qualification. That is the entry only bar. How many attempts it took? What is your age? Did you pass? Did you get a rank? Well, all that is important, but not that important. What we basically look for is your ability to learn and your attitude to work in a professional way. That will be the most important. The package, etc., we'll ask HR to speak little later. Any other questions? You're welcome to come up. Yeah.
There is a question on location.
Yeah.
Location in the first 2 years, because it's audit, the base location will be Bangalore. But like Shrikant sir said, it is Bharat Darshan. You will be traveling through the year. At the end of 2 years, you could get placed in Bangalore or Kolkata or any of our units. The unit finance roles are limited in the sense that they don't come up every time. So typically about 60 to 70% of the people get placed either in Bangalore or Kolkata. The 30% of the people get placed in any of our units across the country. So that's how the location piece works. We try to be flexible as much as possible to the location needs of the individual to accommodate. If we have a point of presence in that city and if we have a role, but you should start with the mindset that for the first 2 years, you are on an airplane all the time. On landing
Let me put it
from an
this way,
airplane.
let me put it this way that if we see you too much in Bangalore, too much around in Bangalore corporate office, then I am not doing my job. Let me put it that way, right? We need you to be everywhere. So don't think you're going to come to the cool weather and warm people of only Bangalore. Entire India is like that. Embrace it and go on. Yeah. As we speak, 3 or 4 colleagues are there in Cayman Island auditing that place. Yeah.
Mm.
Wonderful. Great. Any other questions, guys? Location, I think, is clear. The trajectory is clear.
A lot
Anything
of
else?
travel is involved. Yeah. We will like to make it very clear. If anybody is averse to travel, I don't think this might be a great opportunity for them. Travel is really going to be heavy and you'll be staying away from your home and away from Bangalore for quite some time when you take on large hospital audits. We cannot avoid that. Though we are using AI and many other tools to ensure that the actual stay in the field work is coming lesser than before. That's an important KRA for the department also. But having said that, there will still be a lot of travel.
Yeah. There are a lot of questions on how to apply. I think the HR team and Umang will be able to
So,
talk about it. Yeah.
all those who are attending, you will get an application link right in your email and your WhatsApp groups right after this. I've also put the application link here in the chat. Just open it. It is in the chat. There's a question, not very good question. Is it paid internship? Mayank, this is not an internship. This is a full-time career opportunity. And during this 22-month immersion and the training, you will get full-time paid for this engagement.
It's a well-paid internship. Okay. Mayank, it's a very well-paid internship. Don't worry. Yeah.
The one thing that we are very clear, I think we are not filtering anyone based on, because it's very easy to filter someone on attempts or say age.
Or
We're very
hometown.
clear we don't want to filter people based on attempts and age. And in fact, we are looking for people who have that fire to learn. And we will give you the opportunity to learn. The internal audit team, they the first 2 years work very hard in terms of creating that atmosphere to learn. So all we are looking for is people who want to come with that energy. There's nothing else we are expecting. We don't have to be some very fluent English speaking person. Everything is learnable as long as you want to learn. That's all that we care about.
सीखना आना चाहिए बस.
See, while you ask some questions, and all of you must be going through interview process right now, and I know it's a very stressful period for all of you, applying in multiple places, trying to see where I land. I do want to leave a few tips with each of you. When you are going into an interview, don't try to answer to the question they want to hear. Show them who you are. Because if they understand who you are and they think you will fit for the organization, it'll be a win-win. You will also land in a place where you are happy, and they will also hire somebody who fits their culture, their organization. So don't focus on saying that, okay, Shrikant sir is like this, so I need to impress Shrikant sir. You don't need to impress anybody. You've cleared CA, one of the most toughest exams in the world. So you've already impressed the world. Okay, you've to show to the whoever is interviewing you, whichever company, who you are, what you stand for, what your value systems are, what your learning is, what your energies are, and let the energies come together. I think that is the one little tip I'll have. The other tip I do want to share with you is that, see, when you come on a video and you see, there used to be a time, I've been doing these pre-placement talks for years and years in the CA Institute and many other colleges. And before COVID, we all used to go in person. And there used to be these big auditoriums, 500 people, and we all used to address. And people would not even get an opportunity to ask questions. It's like a one-way traffic. We will speak and come back. Now, your generation has the benefit of digital technologies, but then that also means that you have the accountability to be present, and keeping your video on is a mark of being present. The reason why Umang and the team take so much effort to create this platform, create this communication, make you all speak to so many organizations, is to create exposure. It is not always possible that you can land up in a CA Institute campus and get the kind of visibility or knowledge or access to information that Umang and team create. The only return request they ask you is that keep your video on so we can see you are present. I'm not saying you have to switch on the video for me right now, but I am just saying that mindset of being present is very important as professionals. It shows a lot about us to who we are talking to.
On the interview front, ma'am, I wanted to remind all of them about the movie Three Idiots. That really shows how a real good interview should go on. Yeah. I'm sure all of them have seen that. Yeah.
Great, wonderful. Any other questions, guys? You can ask in the chat, free and frank. If there are not many questions, I think can we cover something on the package, or do you want to keep it for later?
No, Umang, I think I can answer that question here. I think a couple of
Yeah.
people have asked that question.
Yes.
So just to clarify on the compensation bit, we will be offering a package of CTC of about 10 lakh at the time of joining. And there will be a 1 lakh retention, which will be paid out once you complete 1 year. So typically what happens is from the time you join, you complete 1 year, you have your appraisals, you will get that 1 lakh retention that will get merged with your compensation. And then there is another 1 lakh which is paid at the end of your second year completion. So essentially, your compensation will be 10 lakh plus 1 lakh at the end of 1 year, then another 1 lakh at the end of 1 year, right? Now, this is over and above the performance appraisal related increments that will happen. That is entirely dependent on how you perform and how you have transitioned into the role, right? And so we will take you in as deputy managers into an audit, and you'll be part of the audit team. And like our leaders have mentioned, we are looking at people who are flexible, who are willing to learn, uh, since this will involve a lot of traveling in the initial learning period, because that's where we will get exposure and interact with all our units. So we're looking at people who do not have specific location constraints and are willing to learn and experience.
Great.
I
Thanks
hope
a lot. Yeah.
I hope that answers.
So 10 lakh plus 1 lakh plus 1 lakh, this is a fixed component, and apart from that, there will of course be performance bonus. Whether is there any foreign opportunity? Yes, as mentioned, but that depends on your performance and various other variables. I'm from Hyderabad. I see hospital industry expanding. Can we see Narayana Health in Hyderabad too?
With time, I think we will get there. At the moment, we are focusing. So we're doing our largest ever expansion plan in the history of the company. We have invested, or we have committed to invest 3,000 crores over the next 3 years to build 2,000 beds. Most of the capacity is coming up in Bangalore, Calcutta, Raipur, which is places where we have presence at the moment. But we do want to expand eventually to the larger length and breadth of the country. So at the moment, we don't have a plan for Hyderabad, but eventually, I think once we crack our integrated care model in a more efficient way, I think we'll have the ability to get there. Yeah. Just one small thing I wanted to add on that salary note that Ritu said, because this concept of retention, etc., it becomes a little confusing for people to understand. So effectively, the package that is being offered is 11. Just that the first year package is 11. Just that the way it is getting paid, 10 of it is getting paid over 12 months, and 1 lakh of it is getting paid on the 12th month. That is why it is coming as a retention. So 11 lakh is your starting compensation. It is just being paid 10 plus 1. Now that 11 lakhs is your base for the first year. So at the end of first year, you will get a performance-based increment. That increment will apply on that 11 lakh base. So whatever that number is, let us say it is 10%. I'm just saying for calculation sake. So 11 plus 10%, that becomes your base for the next year. When you finish year 2, another 1 lakh get paid at the end of year 2, which means that 11 lakh plus 10%, 12.1 plus 1, 13.1, that is your second year base. At the end of second year, when your performance increment gets applied, it gets applied on that 13.1. So just for you to know that that is how the number works, because when you hear a number 10 and you're anchoring in 10, it is not a 10, it is a 11 and anywhere between 12.5 to 13 by the end of year 2. So am I correct? Is my math correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, just we're all finance people, so we understand numbers differently than how HR people understand numbers. So I thought maybe it's useful to clarify.
It's very helpful. I think it's clearer to them now.
Yes. Thanks for that. Any other questions, guys? One final chance, otherwise we'll call it a day. Any other question? You can ask in person as well. If you want, you can raise your hand, unmute, ask. If no, we'll conclude. What are skills required to land into Narayana? As mentioned by Sir and Ma'am, curiosity and your willingness to learn, the attitude. Where can we see ourselves down the line over 5 years in monetary consideration? Okay.
That depends on them. Yeah.
It depends on you,
We have
Ujjwal.
given you the roadmap for 2 years.
Correct.
Beyond that is entirely in your hands.
Now do the extrapolation. Okay. Now, will the interviews be virtual or in person? The interviews will be virtual, right, Ritu, if I'm not wrong?
Yeah.
Great. Where can we apply, guys? As I said, the link is in the chat. You will get your the application link in the email, WhatsApp as well. This is the same Sambhav form link that you fill. We'll take your interests from there. If already filled, yeah, that's it. You wait for an email. If you've already filled the form, that's fine. In the next couple of days, we'll get your candidature. We'll start your screenings and the interviews.
Umang,
No
just
stress.
one question which has come. I think they're thinking about something bond. Any minimum period of service? That's what people are asking here
Okay.
also.
Any minimum period of service?
Can we say 20, madam?
We would like, yeah, I was about to say, we would like you to stay with us forever. So that's the minimum.
There is no bond. There
No
is no
bond,
bond.
but yes, we will be happy
Bond
if
is
you
in
stay
your
with
heart,
us.
not on paper. We don't believe in paper. We believe in your heart and mind. Yeah.
Mhm.
No paper bond, please. Yeah.
Great. I think we've covered most of it. Thanks a lot, Sandhya ma'am, Srikanth sir, and the whole team for joining us, for giving your time, auspicious, valuable time to these candidates and trusting us. Thanks a lot, and see you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Umang.
you.
Umang,
Thanks,
thank you
everyone.
for your
All the
umang,
best.
Thank
Your
you.
umang
Yes.
makes everything happen. Thank you for your umang.
Yes.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
It was great catching up
Thank
with you.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Good
Bye.
day,
All
all
the
of
best.
you.
Thank you.
To
Good
all of
day.
you on the call,
Bye.
best wishes. Yeah.
All the best.
Thank you.